He was awesome. You know, I just found out he broke the single game record for tackles in one game for a Rams. So you felt like he was all over the place. I thought his presence was outstanding today. Big time, Nate. I thought he was awesome. You know, it's cool to be able to see him get his first 2 turnovers too. He's been around the ball. He's made so many plays. He's so instrumental in so many different things that we do. And he had a great game today. It was awesome for Q.
For a little window, making something happen. Zay Flowers. The ball comes out. It is loose. It's picked up by the Rams, and it's Quentin Lake who's got it. Stafford. No one's open. Takes a shot. Going deep. Kyron Williams is the end. Flags fly. Henry. Straight give. He is stopped. The Rams are all over it. Blitz coming. Rush on the run, and it's picked off. Quentin Lake stepped in front of it.
The Los Angeles Rams are not just showing the city of Los Angeles, but showing the world, showing the NFL league that this team is legit. You know, the Los Angeles Rams just beat up the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, the Lamar Jackson-less Baltimore Ravens. 17-3 in Baltimore. And thing is, this score is 17-3, but it should have been a lot worse. This offense wasn't in its best of performances. Matthew Stafford, 17-26, 181. We got a touchdowns, 2 sacks given up on Matty Ice himself. I do call him Matty Ice. I think he is the original, not Matt Ryan. And then QB rating of 98.4. That's beautiful. Kyron Williams had a great reception. I know you guys saw it in the intro. Beautiful reception. I saw that live. To see a running back make that style of play at that crunch time of an opportunity, a 30-yard reception. Absolutely beautiful and great ball by Matthew Stafford, of course. 13 carries on the ground for 50 yards and got into the end zone. There are things and there are ways we can go into with this offense, but I have got to start it out with this defense absolutely doing amazing things. And you guys also saw it in the intro, Nate Landman. You know, this is a linebacker that you aren't going to hear anyone that is within the realm of NFL know-how talk about or say the names of when they mention top linebackers, but the Los Angeles Rams faithful know and understand how good this guy is. They'd also know and understand how good Tyler Higbee is, but if you look at other fans, if you look at other talking media heads, Tyler Higbee, Nate Landman, and then even Quentin Lake, these aren't going to be names that you hear very often from these media outlets. These are not names of the Derwin James that Quentin Lake's going to get. He's not going to get any love that Derwin James get. Nate Landman is not going to get any love that a Roquan Smith gets. And then we all know that Tyler Higbee is not going to get that love that George Kittle or Travis Kelce gets. So the one thing that I always like to circle around about the Los Angeles Rams, something that's very consistent, something I love Les Snead about, something that I love with Sean McVay is that, and we've talked about this many a times, it's the one reason why I love making the Rams videos. And so if you guys do like this, go ahead and give me a like, go ahead and give me a comment in there. Let me know you're present. Let me know you're here. But one thing that I always talk about with Les Snead and Sean McVay is that you guys draft football players. You don't draft wide receivers. You draft football players that just happen to play wide receiver. You don't draft running backs. You just happen to draft football players that their position is running back. And this goes with the amazing things that you guys have done with Quentin Lake and Nate Landman. He had a monster game in Nate Landman, recording 17 tackles, setting the Los Angeles Rams franchise record. Absolutely great, absolutely beautiful, and crazy impact. He was shifting and moving all over the field, doing amazing things. Quentin Lake, all right, an interception and a recovery fumble in coverage. Like, his ability to find himself around the ball and create a turnover, these things helped. The score was 17-3 without Lamar. So we have to have some legitimate, how do you say, context when we talk about this game. If Lamar Jackson is there, I do believe that the defense is going to be at play for sure. But at the end of the day, this offense didn't do all it could to effectively have this be a convincingly win. So these defensive turnovers and this defensive prowess that showed up against this Ravens offense, and we got to talk about that 4th and goal. We got to talk about it. And I don't know if this is a real thing or not. And you guys let me know. I knew you guys were going to stop him. I don't know why, But when I'd say I know, like, let's say if Derrick Henry gets into the end zone, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's Derrick Henry. But when I tell you guys, I was sitting at a pretty 89% chance, which is pretty freaking high. I'm at like an 89% chance. Oh, they're about to stop the Ravens on 4th and goal. And it happens. Great penetration. He slipped up a little bit. Great. I mean, you stopped Derrick Henry where he is dang near the most dangerous, right? And so absolutely beautiful things in that regard. And we know Byron Young contributed beautifully, and he was also one of the high tacklers within the game. I want to talk about something that I don't mean to be hyperbolic, even though it will come off out that way. You know, we do have some woes. I didn't like that one out of the 2 sacks that Matthew Stafford had got. It looked very weird. It looked like he might have gotten hurt, and it was, of course, a fumble in that regard. And so there's some things with Coleman Shelton that need to be cleaned up a little bit, need to get picked up a little bit. And then you also have just the offensive line, but necessarily the offensive in entirety needs to get picked up a little bit. And of course, we know and understand that there is Puka Nakua's how he goes about his business. This might be an ankle sprain. It could be something that's going to be lingering for him in the future. So hopefully it's not nothing too serious, but he did not look 100% when he came back out in the 3rd quarter. At the end of the day, I think this team is going to do something special, and I want to set up a certain agenda narrative. I think the floor has already been created with you guys. The fact that this defense is hitting at a high clip, it really puts it in perspective that this is a playoff style defense. Braden Fisk getting involved, of course, Jared Verse and his amazing attributes as well. This defense, when you can create turnovers within your secondary and create a lot of beautiful pressure within your front 7, and we knew this in the offseason coming into the season that this was going to be something that you guys needed to rely on. Losing Cooper Kupp, bringing in Devontae Adams, there was some speculation of how things were going to work out with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. There was some speculation on how things would have clicked, and of course things have clicked super early, of course, for Puka and the seasons he's had. This wasn't necessarily a breakout awesome game for Devontae Adams, but there's still some growing things that are coming about. And he had a great catch. There are still some things that this offense needs to get ready for that postseason. Of course, we're not even at the midseason part yet. We know why we're playing football. We know why we're buying the tickets, and we know why we're watching the content for the NFL. It is our team good enough to get to the Super Bowl? And I want to say that the floor right now is that you guys have got to be the best team in the NFC West. There is a lot of things going up in the air with the Arizona Cardinals, of course, you guys know them, and their embarrassing losses. And there you got the Seattle Seahawks. They're good with Sam Darnold, but I think you guys definitely have their number. And then, all the chaos with the 49ers, not necessarily having a legitimate quarterback at that position. Mac Jones one day, Brock Purdy another day. So there's a lot of things that are imbalanced with the NFC West. And you guys do seem like the most complete team, the Los Angeles Rams, that is. And so I think that with this offense being a little bit sluggish in this game, get that back up, get that more of the priority within the game plan, have this defense continuously get their confidence, get it ready for the midseason point, stay healthy, and get things prepared for that offseason. You guys are looking great. None of you guys are looking at mock drafts like I am personally for my team, right? And so that's great. None of you guys care about the college football players that are going to be coming up in the next draft on who you guys can get in your draft position because your team is still hot at 4-2. So enjoy the win. Great things in that regard. Another thing I would like to know, who are the players that you guys love the most? Like, who are the players, the random players, the low-key players, not necessarily superstars, but I would like to know within that Ram fan base. Let me know in the comments, who do you love? Who had a great game? Let me know everything you think. Like, comment, and subscribe.